Always a good girl. Yes. Uh-oh. What? Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Router 2 REEF. Yes, I know. You want to get in on this? Today I'm going to share something with you that I've been really excited to share with you. This has turned out so much better than I expected, although I knew it was going to be really cool. I added a canister filter to the saltwater aquarium. It's a 125 gallon saltwater aquarium. You know, I've always had a sump. I've had 2 sumps. I did a water bridge, all this type of stuff. And I've been wanting to do this I've been thinking about doing this for weeks, probably months. And I got the Fluval FX6, which I love, and it's rated for, I think, up to 450 gallon aquarium. But keep in mind, when you put filtration inside it, usually cuts it down by at least a third, maybe a half. So it's rated to filter like a 250 gallon aquarium at this point. So I'm really big into filtration, and one key thing to keep in mind, and this is just how I do it, but with canister filters, people call them nitrate factories. False. Just make sure you clean it out once a month, once every 2 months. Shut it down, empty it, hose it out, rinse it out. Your mileage may vary depending on your bioload, meaning how many fish you have in it. Fish pee, fish go to the bathroom, how much you feed your fish, that stuff breaks down, all the uneaten food. These canister filters do a phenomenal job at filtering your aquarium, mechanical filtration, getting all the solids out, especially the way I hooked it up. You're going to love this. I use the canister filter only for mechanical filtration. So the only thing I have inside this canister filter is a bunch of foam. There's 3 outer layers of thick foam, and internally, the final filtration chambers, there's about 5 to 6. And I just have extra foam in there. And in the last 2 chambers, I have some carbon, and I can't remember what pads are in there to lower the phosphates. I love the sump, but I have a second FX canister filter by Fluval. I've got all the tubing I need. Thinking about setting up the second one. I love the sump canister filter combination. After I added the canister filter, within a day or 2, I noticed a huge difference in water clarity because it's being filtered so much. And the bonus round is, which I really love, in the overflow, there's none of that garbage sitting at the bottom of your overflow. I was taking, a stick or some kind of scraper and just swishing it around so it would get sucked out from the overflow. Well, now that stuff's getting sucked out not by gravity when you use a sump. It's getting literally sucked out because the canister filter is sucking it out. The motor is sucking all that water out of the overflow. And you don't have to worry about, is the motor going to run dry? No, because as it's sucking the water out from the overflow chamber, it's putting it back into the aquarium, which is flowing back into the overflow. Now, I get water evaporation from the sump still, but I also get it from the overflow, which makes sense because when you use a canister filter, where does the water flow go? It goes into the overflow and gets sucked out from the overflow, so that's where it's going to evaporate from. I am very, very, very happy with this setup, having a sump with my protein skimmer, but really the only reason I have the sump right now is to house a protein skimmer, which is taking the things out of the water. Do I really need that? No, you don't. And a lot of people have said, even in the 60s, 70s, they didn't have protein skimmers. They ran thriving aquariums. Protein skimmer is going to take that stuff out of the water at a very small level, microscopic level, and even larger before it has a chance to break down. Well, canister filters are going to do the same. Also, one thing I've always had a problem with as far as protein skimmers go is a lot of that water gets past the protein skimmer. I was also thinking in the past of connecting the overflow to go into some filter and have that filter go all in to a massive protein skimmer so all water is being skimmed. most of the water, I don't know the percentages, what, 90%, whatever, 80%, it's flowing right past the protein skimmer, going to the last chamber so it can be taken back up into your aquarium. So really, am I seeing a lot of benefit from a protein skimmer? Having all the water go from the overflow sucked into the canister filter and stopped and polished and put back into the tank by one canister filter that's rated for a 400-gallon aquarium. Not to mention if I add two, that's a rating of 800 gallons. But with all the foam in there, you cut it in half, let's say 400. It'll be 400 if it's cut in half. And I've got a 125-gallon aquarium. So if you cut that in half again, I've still got a system that's being filtered at a rating of 400 to 500 gallons. It's awesome. Everything's balanced. I've got the right return pump and the sump going. Everything's perfectly balanced. Everything's awesome. I love having best of both worlds. I do not like having the canister filter suction inside the aquarium. You know, when it looks like a freshwater aquarium, like when you're in high school, you got this bubbler and you got the black pipe inside the aquarium that's sucking everything out. I don't like that. I want it clean. I don't want to see cables. I don't want to see pipes. I don't want to see anything in the aquarium. That's why I took everything out like I did in my brother's aquarium a couple weeks ago. If you've seen that video, you can see it up here and a link down below. It turned out awesome. He got rid of his sump because the sump broke, cracked, water destroyed his hardwood floors. It's a nightmare. Yes, you have to maintain canister filters as well. Got to make sure that the rubber seals are always fine. On Amazon, I'll put a link down below. If you have one of these canister filters, I bought a rubber seal O-ring kit, a repair kit, in case I need them, because you need to have filtration. And in case something happens, you need to have backup O-rings. So, like I said, I've got a second Fluval FX6 in the garage I bought about a year ago. It hasn't been on this tank because I was thinking, do I really want to do this? See, I'm so, just like getting away from a house phone. Everyone's like, oh, I can't get rid of my house phone, because that's how we've been raised on that. I use a cell phone all the time. I haven't had a house phone in 25 years. Most people do not. I was way ahead of the curve on that one. So now I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of the sump, putting it in storage, and just having two canister filters. That way, all I have to do is daily water top-offs or every other day. Don't have to worry about replacing. I got away from filter socks a long time ago. Those are nasty. They're terrible to clean. They smell. That sock is hanging out in your sump. You're like, oh, I'm capturing all the particulates that are coming out of my water. Well, yeah, you are, but they're also still sitting in your sump, eroding, and it's breaking down in your water. Once every 2 months, I'll drain one, like I said, take it outside, hose it out, clean it out, pour some white vinegar in it to clean it out, rinse out the sponges, which will last you at least a year. But once a year, I'll replace all the sponges by Fluval. You can get them on their site or Amazon. Not expensive at all. Then 2 months later, I'll do the same thing for the second canister filter if I go that route. Anyway, that's what I did. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I love it. Put in your comments what you think. Were you thinking about going canister filter? My brother has a 75-gallon saltwater aquarium, and he put the FX2 on his tank. Perfect. For me, the FX4 would have been fine. I went with the FX6. I had a problem when I initially set up the canister filter with the sump. I had a return pump that wasn't strong enough on my sump, so the water wasn't going out of the sump fast enough, so the water level kept raising in the sump. Not to overflow, but it was really hurting my protein skimmer. Luckily, I had found another way more powerful power head, and it's a perfect match for the Fluval FX6 motor. So they're balanced perfectly. That's it. I love this setup, and I may go 2 canister filters. I don't know yet, but I do know that the only thing keeping me in the game of a sump is that protein skimmer, which, as I said, most of the water passes by it anyway, and it's a little louder because that return pump in the sump, it's louder. When I turn that off, I hear almost nothing. I hear nothing because that canister filter FX6 is so silent. I hear nothing except a little water trickle. I can hear the hum of the return pump now. Maybe I'll do it. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe. Like the video if you dig it. And I'll see you in the next video. Oh, by the way, haven't been doing videos as much because I'm working on my other channel, the photography and video channel, slowly. I've been a photographer for years, ever since I was a kid. I've got a ton of new equipment, and I'm on Instagram hardcore with it right now, and I'm having a lot of fun. A lot of architecture. I'm starting to shoot for clients again slowly on the side, but yeah, so that's why I've been away a little bit, plus there's a lot of other things going on. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.